Well, those guys went to racing each other really hard, which is what this sport's all about and what's great about NASCAR, you know. But unfortunately, it got a little dirty there at the end, and you know, it was just running really. Those guys were running each other really, really hard, and especially down the straightaways. I mean, just side drafting one another and slowing each other down, and that was the easiest time for me to gain time. You know, just being able for me to run my own race right there and run around the top. I finally got my momentum going and got a little bit of the tight that was in the car out of it, but you know, we ran those guys down, and then you know, was able to pass them there in 3 and 4 before the big wreck ensued. So just hope everybody's all right. Hope Denny's all right. Heard he had you know, some issues there, but we don't know all the facts right now. So just that's all we can really say about that. But to get Joe Gibbs in victory lane here in California, that's special. To get TRD and Toyota in victory lane here in California, of course, that's great too. That it's their home. You know, they're not from too far from here. And for Dave and I, you know, we've been working really hard, and everybody at Joe Gibbs Racing's been working really hard. But to finally seal the deal here today feels good. Didn't look like we were going to be able to seal the deal, but you know, sometimes you got to have a little luck on your side, and fortunately we had that today, and you know, it worked in our favor, so that's good.
Great. Dave, the 18 car was strong all day. Can you talk about the race from your point of view?
Yeah, the race was pretty good. You know, Kyle did a fantastic job yesterday of predicting the direction the track was going to go, give really good feedback. Sent me some texts last night, said, hey, I think the track's going to do this. This is where I need help. So great feedback, and the guys, the Interstate Batteries crew, prepared a great race car. You know, I just decided to make it interesting on Kyle there, staying out and letting them guys four-tire us. You know, we kept getting a lot of two laps, then 4 laps, and cautions kept coming out, and every time a few people would dip down on pit road and get tires, and before you know it, the whole field had tires except for us and the 22. Kyle just did a great job of moving around and figuring out how to get the most out of his car with what he had, and capitalize when the 22 and the 11 started racing hard.
Great. Thanks a lot. We're going to go ahead and open up for questions. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll start down here in the media center, and then we'll move upstairs. We'll start in the front with David Newton.
Kyle, you said it got a little dirty there at the end. Can you elaborate on what you saw there and how that all transpired to allow you to get ahead and take the lead?
Well, I mean, just side drafting each other. I mean, it's hard racing, but you know, it's also dirty sometimes. But you are going for the win, so it's not that I'm sure other people wouldn't do to me. It's just you know, a product of, I guess, clean racing is when you're just running each other hard and you're separated down the straightaways. You're trying not to slow each other down to bring the third car back there into the fray. But you know, it looked like there through 3 and 4 that Joey went to the bottom but didn't quite get all the way down there, and knew that Denny was going to have the run on the outside, and slid up a little bit. I'm not sure if he lost his front end or not, but you know, they got together a little bit, and then it turned Denny sideways, and then somehow, you know, Joey got into the fence too. But it's just from the minimal replays I've seen. So I did win the race today, by the way, so that might be a story, but I'm sure it's not.
We'll go in the back to Lee.
I mean, to that effect, I mean, how big is this for Toyota? Toyota has wanted to win at their home track for, you know, since they got into the sport. And, you know, you came on the radio afterwards and talked about the teamwork that it took, and how your guys have stood behind you, and how you were happy now that you could do something for them. So can you talk about the magnitude of this win, even though it's going to be overshadowed, you know, in the short term by what happened?
Yeah, it's, I mean, we worked so hard last year, and you know, we missed the chase by 3 points, and then it sort of defines your season as missing the chase. And then we go off and rattle off great finishes throughout the chase, but we never win, you know. And that weighed on both Dave and I's shoulders, and of course being able to realize or understand if we could do this together or not. But and then again this year we started out the season, and we were running well at Daytona. We had a little issue there. And then, you know, Phoenix, we had to start in the back. I tried to carry the deal on my shoulders, and I messed up. And then we go to Vegas and run up front. We lead some laps. We just didn't have a good long-run car. And then, you know, last week at Bristol, we had a good car. We sped on pit road and got back in traffic, never made our way really back up to the front on good tires. And then here this weekend, again, you know, we had the best car. We led the most laps, and felt like it was our race to win. But in reality, it was our race to lose when all those guys kept pitting behind us and putting on tires. We felt like track position was the best for us, although tires were worth a lot of speed. So it's just, we finally had a little bit of luck on our side that we didn't have all last year, and it seemed like we weren't quite having this year. But we've had some good runs and some strong runs. It's just, you got to keep working, you got to keep digging in. And Dave and I talked a lot in the last few weeks about what we can do to try to help each other and put our program on the map where we're a bigger force to be reckoned with.
All right, we'll go to Kay.
Kay Presto, Cars and Competition. Dave, he was saying that you've worked hard on the car. Do you think the Gen 6 was helpful in getting you to be more successful again, run better? Has it been an asset? How much of an asset has it been this season?
Well, I think like Kyle said, we missed the chase, but we performed really well. We strung off a lot of top fives. We contended for wins. We just didn't capitalize on them. But we picked up right where we left off. We're running top five week in, week out. Unfortunately, we picked up right where we left off. We're running top five and not capitalizing. Today, we finally capitalized on it due to some great driving by Kyle. But to answer your question about the 2013 Camry, I think it's an advantage because you got a lot of motivated and dedicated people at Joe Gibbs Racing. And I'm certain that there's no team in the business that worked harder than the guys at Joe Gibbs Racing. They worked really hard this winter. Our goal was to come out of the box really strong, show our fans what we're made of. Every team in the business started from scratch. We all started from ground zero. So it was a design competition. Who can build the Gen 6 or the 2013 Camry the fastest and the best? And right now, as an organization, JGR has 2 wins. So really proud of that. My hat's off to all the guys back at the shop.
Great. We're going to go upstairs for a question in the terrace press box.
Question for Kyle, Wolfgang Munzer, Germany Ranchport Press Agency. Kyle, congratulations, great successful weekend here at Auto Club Speedway. With the Sprint Cup win and the win in Nationwide, it's obviously 2 different cars, 2 different championship. Nevertheless, after your win in the Nationwide Series, do you have the idea what to do with the Sprint Cup car to be successful as well?
Yeah, it certainly helps you. I feel like it helps me anyway. It's just being able to get that extra seat time, being able to get that feel of what the racetrack transition's like and what the car does throughout the run and everything, and where you have to move around to. I did a lot of things today similar to what I did yesterday, but people could say, oh, well, it's just as easy to watch the race on TV and watch what the winner does, but I don't really want to sit there for 3 hours and watch it. I'd rather be out there feeling everything and participating in it. And of course, it's always cool when you can win both races, but we're trying to put everything together. And this year, I feel like it's a little bit better bonus for me to race Joe Gibbs Racing cars on Saturday as it is on Sunday. And although my KBM guys work really, really hard and they do a great job over there too, it's a different chassis, And you can ask JD why he won't sell them to me, but I'll put him on the spot on that one. But it's great to be back with Joe, and this win is for Joe Gibbs and for everything that he's done for me and for everything that he's done for Dave and this whole organization. And just being able to finally win here for him in the Cup Series, and of course putting Toyota on the map too here in California.
All right, want to come back downstairs over here?
Keith Flair, San Gabriel Tribune. Has either of you guys talked to Joe yet, and what did he say?
I have not. Did you get a call?
No, Joe actually stayed at home this weekend. JD was out here. I talked to JD briefly. He said he was going to go visit Denny in the hospital, but he didn't have any details to give me.
I'm just curious about the win, though.
No, I hadn't. I'm sure I got a message on my phone right now. I spoke to him in Victory Lane, but it was through camera. So.
Yeah, JD did walk through. He congratulated everyone. This is a really big deal. It's Joe Gibbs Racing's first win at California. It's Toyota's first win at California. We have our founding sponsor, Interstate Batteries, on the car, so it's a really big deal to win. And JD was very excited about it. But obviously with a heavy heart with Denny. Denny's a great teammate, and our thoughts and prayers are with him.
Holly.
Holly Kane, NASCAR.com. Kyle, you obviously had a great car all day. When you were running behind Denny and Joey, though, considering what went down last week, did you kind of keep in the back of your mind something maybe going down here again and kind of have that at all subconsciously?
Yeah, I did actually. I was rolling around under caution earlier in the race, and I seen some highlights of them two getting together from earlier in the race. So I'm like, oh, okay, well they don't get along this week again. So, but I'm shocked for just everything that was going on there and how hard they were running. I mean, they both were trying to win the race, of course, but all I kept thinking is I was commentating from the TV booth about the whole deal. I'm like, they're forgetting the third place car. They have no clue that I'm coming. They have no clue. They're just racing each other. And I was like, surely the spotter's got to say something. I mean, where are these guys? And saying, hey, block the top, the 18's got to run or something, But they were so focused on one another that they left the door open. I mean, that does happen sometimes. And, when else that happened was 2 years ago here with myself and Jimmy were running each other really, really hard towards the end of the race. And, boom, Harvick snuck through and beat us both, So that happens here sometimes in California. I mean, we put on some wild races. I mean, there are some maybe quote-unquote dull moments through the middles, but I tell you, there was some really hard racing today, some really good racing. I felt like the 22 and I put on a great show for the lead much of the day. And, of course, there at the end, there's one hell of a battle but through 3 and 4, and then again on pit road, another battle after the race. But, that's part of racing sometimes. That's what the sport was built on. Just ask Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison.
We have any other questions downstairs? Yeah, Brian.
Brian Goldenale, Valley Press. Kyle, at Daytona, you talked about how you made a conscious effort to kind of maybe smooth the rough edges or maybe be a little bit more restrained when you moved been aggressive in the past. Is today kind of a reward or kind of a reaffirmation in your mind about that good things come to people who wait or are patient or this type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, you always work hard, and certainly there's opportunities to do some bold moves, and sometimes they pay off for you, and sometimes they don't, So you just got to work through that sometimes, and, today there was a couple moments for some bold moves, but, nothing too crazy, I guess. But all in all, it seemed to work well in our favor, and not so much in somebody else's favor.
Anything else downstairs? Upstairs, last call for questions.
No questions.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.